We're going to be doing this natural look while we talk about dating and how to navigate and not get catfished. So, all right, let's go. If you don't know who I am, my name is Lila. I am with 50 is the new F word, and I do all things over 40, over 50, makeup, skincare, and lifestyle tips. I am trying pin curlers, obviously, today, and I think I didn't quite know what I was doing. So, excuse those while we get ready. So, I've already primed my face, and just kind of applying on my foundation. I'm using the Kosas, which I love, in the shade of 170. I'm a neutral warm, and this one just matches my neck perfectly and is so easy to blend in. So, sorry if I look away every once in a while. Trying to see what I'm doing. 51 definitely. It's not great on the eyesight. So today, I think it has to be talked about. And I'm gonna be giving you the real stuff, and it is dating. We're gonna talk about dating and flirting. Obviously, the best flirting, I can't deny, is going to be you being your happy, regular self. But we're nervous, and sometimes, our personality doesn't always shine through on those first dates, especially if you were like me, where I had to start dating again in my mid-40s. I was married for 24 years, and I got married at 21, or 20 actually. And so I didn't really know how to date or flirt. And dating in your 40-somethings compared to when you were in your 20-something, completely different. I don't want to scare you, but, things happen at a lot different pace than when you were in your 20s. And either it can go super fast or super slow. I primed over my eyes, so now I'm going to prime under my eyes with this milk. And you let this one really set. Rub it in or pat it in and let it do its thing for a while. Do not put on concealer too soon. Every woman over 40 should have a really good creamy concealer that matches their skin. I use the Goop. It is so creamy, and it's perfect to cover up any kind of spots that you want to conceal rather than highlight. All right, there is just so much that I want to say about dating. So we're going to start with online dating, okay? First of all, do not get wrapped in with all the perfect texts and emails and things like that, okay? If you feel like you have a connection with someone, do not be talking on an app for more than 1 week, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. Okay, if you have lost a little elasticity here, we need to conceal that and contour that. So I'm going to add my jawline back. Okay, the reasoning is that you can already feel like you are connected and have some type of relationship with the person, and you could be just getting their best self. The person that before they respond to whatever you say takes a minute to think about the perfect answer, or is even asking their friends like what they should say, so you're not even getting a real piece of who they are. Having watching natural reactions, I should say, is key to really knowing the person. Okay, so I just went in with a neutral color, and now I'm gonna go in with this more bronzy color into my crease, but actually the top of my crease. So like, you know, you're in your crease, but you're hitting the top of it more. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I always blow it off because I don't want to get too much product. And notice where I'm holding my my brush. I don't have it too high and I'm not holding it too low. So you can do the swipey motion, but you just don't want to go way far here. So that's why I have these little eyeshadow, I guess, screens or protectors so that I don't accidentally go too far. And then I'm going to grab this darker color and I'm going to warm up the ends here. I do this in a circle motion going upwards and not down. So anyways, to get back to dating online. So you want to make sure that whoever you are forming this like relationship with, this feelings with, and keep in mind, after you've been married for, you know, whatever amount of time, for me 24 years, and then you start dating again, you know, you are looking for some kind of connection, and you probably have been without that for a very long time in your marriage. Otherwise, you'd still be married, right? So obviously you're missing something and you're vulnerable to form a connection more quickly than maybe you would have had in your younger years. Okay, so now I'm blending, and I'm just going to blend and blend and blend until I feel like I have a smooth look and no sharp edges. So when people say blend and then blend some more, they're not joking. Again, I use the swiping motion, but I'm also doing the circles towards the inner of my eye. Oopsie. And I always bring my eyeshadow towards the middle here. Kind of gives you that more sultry, sexy vibe. All right. I like to wear a little shimmer, and I think in my age, it's okay to do that. I like these ColourPop ones. Very easy to use. Just use my finger here and apply it to the inner corners and a little, about halfway on my eyes there. All right, I added some mascara. I'm gonna remove these. Now that first shade, I'm just gonna put a little bit under my eye here. So because we're vulnerable, I have a hard time saying that word. We want a connection, and we might want that connection more than it really is there. So I'm gonna add some blush. This is the Milk. It's like a terracotta color. I use the back of my sponge, and I'm just going to give myself a sun-kissed look with this like terracotta color. I'll put the color down below so you'll know what I use. So because we want that connection so very badly, we are willing to overlook some things that we might have had a red flag on before. I apply my my concealer down here rather than packing it on underneath my eyes. And the reason why is that when we get too much product in there, it tends to crease into our fine lines. And although I like a little coverage, and I use a lighter concealer so that it kind of brightens rather than that other concealer I was telling you about, which matched my skin. That was to cover things. This is concealer to brighten and highlight certain parts of my face. Like I said, what we want to do is we want to meet up with them right away. And maybe we're going to be wasting a lot of our time doing so. And but if we're looking for our person, if we're looking for someone that actually is who we want to be with and not who we settle to be with, and we settle a lot as women because we get into a relationship or just whatever it might be, and we stay. We stick it out. We tend to stick things out, and so we need to be sure. We're now women in our 40s and 50s, and we are established, and we are smarter and wiser, and I think sexier than I was when I was in my 20s. And we have a right to be choosy, but we want to make the right choices. So meet up with them. You want to make sure you meet them. Like I said, after a week of talking, you don't need to be emailing anymore or texting, okay? Meet face to face. One, we need to establish, do we have chemistry for this person? Maybe they look super great on their profile picture or all the pictures that they put up, but maybe that's not what they look like. Or maybe you are super attracted to them, but when you get and you talk to them, that attraction wears off. You want to make sure there's some chemistry between you guys, right? 2, you want to see how he treats you in person. Does he order for you? Does he or like just chooses for you? Does he pull out your chair if you like that? I like a gentleman, okay? I'm old school. Does he treat the waiter and wait staff nicely? If there's an issue with the order, how does he initially handle it? You need to be watching his face, his body language. Does he look around? Is he looking around at other people passing by? Did he check out that woman while he's sitting with you? No, you guys aren't married and, he's a single man, but you're on a date with him, so he should be focused. Is he able to carry on the conversation rather than just respond perfectly in a text or email? These are things that you need to see. Like when I was doing my online dating, there was a guy and he looked like he'd be really great. And I met him out for some wine tasting. And he was one of those guys that just thought really big of themselves. But in all his texts, or not texts because I didn't do that, emails through the app, he was a perfect gentleman. Okay, notice I have brightening underneath, but it's not packed on. It's because I brought up the concealer, so it's not super heavy. Okay, I'm gonna bronze up a bit. Bronzer warms the skin, okay? And contour does just that. It contours your face. It will change the shape a little bit, okay? So I'm warming up. Now, even though I did a terracotta blush, I'm going to put like this really bright pink on top here. This is one of my favorite colors, but it's not very clean formulated, so I just ordered one from Ulta and I haven't gotten it yet, but I'll share that with you guys later. So I tend to do a little overlining, but not like on my skin, still on my lips, but the very end of it. Before I add eyeliner to my bottom, I'm just gonna go in here and add a little bit of this white to my line there, my lash line, and in the corners. also like to put it on my nose and rub that in. What that does is it brightens my eyes and makes them all wide. All right, before I set my eyes, and keep in mind I only set them in the middle, is I make sure that there's no excess concealer, and then I go in looking up and I just push the powder in, okay? So keep my eyes up as much as possible when I'm doing this. And I go like that. So another place you want to add a lot of powder is, well, if you're me, is in my little folds here. The curlers are out, and this is the final look. I don't know if I want to go part in the middle, like this, or if I want to bring it this way. But anyways, to get back to the dating, we need that in-person interaction to know exactly the person they are before we get connected, before we are so excited about them. And remember, regardless if you don't like him or he doesn't like you or she or whatever your choice is, your preference, right, is it just means they're not your person. It doesn't mean anything against you or what maybe you've done, or did you not look as good, or were you not as flirty, or whatever that might be. That doesn't matter. Maybe you're just not the right person for them, or maybe they're just not the right person for you. They can be a lovely, lovely person, and you could be everything on their checklist, but maybe that connection just wasn't there. Don't take it too hard. Don't fall head over heels by a text or because someone says the words that you've been longing to hear from your previous marriage that you obviously weren't getting because you wouldn't be in this situation. I had to learn that the hard way, and I had to kiss a lot of frogs before I found my person. And take that time. Take the time that you need to heal and to find out exactly what you want, and for you to know your strengths and your weaknesses, and to be confident enough in yourself that the person you choose is going to bring out your strengths more and be understanding of your weaknesses and the baggage that you might be bringing into this relationship, because we got it. We got some baggage, okay? So anyways, I guess I didn't really talk about the flirting portion yet, but I will. I will get into that because in the beginning of a relationship, if this is the guy that you think is right for you, or you want that opportunity to figure it out, a little flirting goes a long way. So come back and subscribe, and come back for more.